Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adilah
Sister?
binti Zulkifli. Okay.
Can you repeat the name for me?
Repeat the names.
I can't hear. Mike, dari sini mungkin elok dengarnya, tapi dari sana tak terdengar kemari. I can't hear you clearly. Sorry about that.
My name is Nur Aini Hanis binti Suhaimi. Aini.
Alright. Okay, Nuraini, baik. Okay.
Tan Sri, would you like to answer the question first or we
I
take?
think I better answer it one by one, yeah? So that we do not forget in the alignment, in the finality. On the question of what are the ingredients that make up a good student leader? Now, in leadership, there is no syllabus. What you and I consider to be the premier ingredients, they do not become translated into the action. But having seen the array of leaders of the world, not only student leadership, let's say the universal outlay. For example, we take the case of Mandela. He was a student leader, he was a community leader, he was a political leader, and finally served 20 over years in prison. I think we should take a person like that to be the epitome of leadership. Now, I may want to say, and you may agree with me, resilience, clarity of mind, the preparedness to undergo the worst in life and to share what you lead or the fruits of your leadership with others. Now, in Mandela, we see all this. But we also see this in Tunku Abdul Rahman, who was also a student leader in Britain, at least for the Malays, and for those who come from the upper crunch of society. He is known never to be angry, Tunku Abdul Rahman, maybe. Now, therefore, the control of emotion in leading a pack is important. Now, there are many other stanzas for this. I need not mention to you all of it, but one of it is that kalau mencari tempat mandi, pertama teluk, kedua pantai. Kalau mencari pemimpin negeri, pertama elok, kedua pandai. Maybe you want to summarize that. It'll make a good leader as well for those who want to achieve that. The second one, Noraini, I couldn't catch your second stanza. Maybe later on you will pass on to me. But your comments, I think, are valid, and we could be putting that in order once we have this teh tarik later on with some of the lecturers. But Prof will have to remind me when we can come. Baiklah. Now, next one.
All right, from the brother.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name is Luqman Alif bin Suzaili. Okay. First of all, please give a big applause for the Tan Sri Rais team that would like to visit us in CFS. Thank you for giving a book. Okay. My question is, you said that you have go through 4 decades as a great leader. So, what is your suggestion in order to instill the knowledge and virtue in our teenagers? Because nowadays our teenagers is facing a problem such as drug addicted, involved in crime, and rude to their parent, their lost respect towards people, and they have no opportunities to enter the CFS, to share our garden and knowledge and virtue, and to enter any education institution. And the next question is, how do you think that knowledge and virtue such as cinta, asmara, adinda, syurga, neraka, kesopanan dan kesusilaan can create or groom a great leader? Thank you.
Many thanks for that question. How to instill knowledge and virtue? We are beginning today to realize that after so many years at IIUM, we must accept the fact that we have done well. Now, it is just that we have to make it more conscionable. That is to say, in every project that we undertake to do, we must put in the best. And we must care for others. There is a bigger output in future from IIUM, for example, with the international students. So the 30% of international students that come to IIUM, of course we don't have them here this morning, they will color the future IIUM itself. Thus, when such leaders like you, who come to the fore and perform to show that you are adhering to your own culture, the Malay culture, the Budi that we have, then they will respect us for better performance. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Sister?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adila binti Zulkifli and I am from Arabic Debate Club. Allow me to give a pantun to
Pelan
Tan
sikit.
Sri.
I can't make out because the three of us are of the same opinion. We can't hear. We can't get your words.
Okay, my name is Adilah binti Zulkifli and I am from Arabic Debate Club. Allow me to give a pantun to Tan Sri. Sang mentari memancar mentari, hujan lebat menjadi-jadi. Tanpa amali hilanglah budi, terima kasih sudi berkongsi. Okay, in your opinion, Tan Sri, what do you think of university students today? Is it good or needs improvement? If as a student we need an improvement, what should we do as a student? Thank you.
Thank you. Daun selasih letak di balan, ianya jatuh pada suku. Terima kasih kerana soalan, itulah namanya sangat perlu. Budi, good or bad, for the opinion of the future, it is not easy to predict now. But if you can see the Japanese module and the Korean module, they do not sway or run away from discipline. This is one. The discipline to do well is one thing, but the discipline to follow the regimentation of the universities is another. Therefore, in that climate, for us to be good in future, we need to have the audacity to follow rules, certain rules. For example, when you are invited to attend a seminar or a big do of this center, we all come. If you are asked to do something by your lecturer, the assignment, we must complete it. That is part of the disciplinary input that we must have. Then we become the kind of university students that we have. We have been having independence for almost 60 years now. With that kind of independence, there is one thing that is lacking in us, and that is self-discipline to pursue knowledge without being asked to do. That will take time. But with the kind of regimentation that we have now, I believe we can do it. And therefore, our Chinese comrades, our friends, our Indian comrades, they are looking at us. They look at us for adhering to certain principles. So I can tell you this, why the number of Chinese students nowadays have plummeted in terms of number in the sekolah menengah kebangsaan. And why about 80,000 Malays are now going for education in Chinese schools? You tell me why. I am just guessing. My guess is that the knowledge dispersal mechanism there, the application of discipline there, all bring together the essence of a person. Now, it is not something that is not known, you know, with 80,000 of orang Melayu or the Malays in the Chinese schools, you have to give an answer to that. That will answer your question. Why is the university, Tunku Abdul Rahman, year in, year out, producing that kind of result? It's discipline. It is pure adherence to system. Then they get it. Now, we can extend this further and further and further. We have to say to ourselves that the rudiments of institutional rules we must follow. Secondly, the rapport with the teachers will have to be created, and this we must value very much. That, I believe, will make a strong person in us. Not that I am blabbering about the University of Singapore, from which I come from as my alma mater. It is truly very, very trying to compete with those people there with their kind of ability and with their kind of push. But you have to follow that pattern. Then you will receive, at the end of the day, the kind of scroll that is benefiting us in every way. Please.
Okay, sister. Tan Sri, can we have the two of them ask the questions together, because time is very jealous of us.
Apa namanya, kulat-kulat ada di bukit. Ya, lama-lama tinggallah sikit. Kita bagilah dua orang dia berdua. Tinggal dua je.
Alright, sister.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name is Sarah Kim binti Omar Kim from English Society.
Sarah.
Okay. My question, Tan Sri, how can we maintain and sustain our own national identity as we strive towards being a developed nation without over-relying or blindly following other cultures?
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
I must thank Allah. This is a very loaded question. And not only that, I believe this question will draw us into the arena of self-appraisal. So let me and allow me to say thank you to Sarah for putting this question. But at the same time, this is the very question that every Malay should be answering himself or herself. Now, it is a very interesting comment made by Mr. Draka. He wrote about social changes, I believe, in the last 2 months of Time magazine. He says, technology always changes culture. Number 2, war changes culture. Number 3, economic well-being changes culture. He has other things. So let us concentrate on this truism. I believe technology has changed us all. The little part which I've just mentioned just now has changed me. But with the kind of buddhi that I'm mentioning today, we must have the pride to say to ourselves, whatever happens outside here, inside doesn't change. That is not an easy thing to say, but we must follow that truism. During our Prophet's time, the technology was different. There was no technology. The Arabs did not undergo an exodus of technology. The Industrial Revolution didn't touch them yet. We talk about the French Revolution. They were changing value system from rulership monarchical system to republic. The same thing, the 7-Year War between Britain and America in 1773. In 1776, they got their independence. Jefferson, Lincoln, and all these people went through changes of value system. Again, there was no technology involved. When technology involved itself during and following the Industrial Revolution until today, mankind has been changed. Therefore, how do we face this so that we do not become Pak Turut in my little pantun just now? It is through Islam. But Islam has been led in a way should not be done through the system of the day. It does not allow some of you to express within the ijtima perhaps what we should do. You must be brave enough to say it out. Within that context, we have to put up a group or a few groups to welcome technology, but it must be suitable to our own use. Now, if the internet is used to belittle your masyarakat, your community, those of you who are thinking, you must say something back, or you must fight back to say, that is not true. You cannot use this mechanism to belittle my family, or my community, or my bangsa. That's how we should do it. But how many of us do that? We cannot do it. It's because of the education that we have been receiving. Therefore, whilst this question, in a way, it is circuitous, it is also dogmatic for us to state. The answering and the questioning must come from a heart that will realize one day Muslims themselves must contribute towards technology. If Muslims continue to become consumers, God help us. We must become the producers as well. Now, it's a very difficult question to say. Therefore, there are so many matters under our educational system that we need you to speak about. We are now following the waves. We are not contributing towards the surf. That is how I feel about it. Thus, this mechanism of thinking and rhetoric must bring us to one point. That is, as Muslims, as Malays, we must contribute towards technology. Do not simply use it for our own destruction. Now, coming back to the language, which is part of identity, our bahasa has been laundered, has been steamrolled, has been flattened. How many of us would speak out? Very few. It's because our ilmu on language itself is limited. Therefore, we become caca marba. We become rojak. I always say, orang Melayu tak bercakap lagi, mari kita makan tengah hari. Orang Melayu kata sekarang, let's go for lunch. Satu. Kedua, mereka tak kata lagi, jadi, mereka kata, so. Mereka tak kata lagi, baiklah. Mereka kata, alright. Siapa yang tegah kita? Tidak ada. Mula-mula mungkin pak kita kata, susahlah cakap macam tu. Bunyi je. Lepas seminggu dua dia pun kata, alright lah. You see, these are changes in culture. And to me, if the language of a community is moribund, meaning dead, or near death toll, that's the end of us. We will become Latin. They use us for terms like bunga dipanggilkan hacienda. Kita tidak lagi dikenal dengan bahasa kita. But that is a very big question. I must thank you for bringing this up. On top of this, we can fight it with a revamped value through our own inertia from the beginning, but through our own motion at the top of it. Now, this university, we will not change the system. We talk in English, we talk in Arabic, but don't forget our language. That's where we come from, and that is ours. Therefore, that will register as a sustenance of our identity. The next one would be perhaps for me to say on the appropriateness of culture. But culture is a very big field. Let us not begin to loiter around too much. Allow me to say that it is a way of life. The meaning of culture is a way of life. Therefore, we must take this way of life to contribute towards our family a better community and an identity that the Orang Putih or the Chinese or the Africans can say, this is Malay. Now that is very important to us, and I hope you join me in that bandwagon in whatever we do for the future. It is not wrong for you to excel in English or to be able to do well in Chinese, but you must also excel in your own language so that the identity is not corroded. Sila Pak Haji, dah lama tunggu.
Thank you, Tan Sri.
Yes, terima kasih.
My name is Ahmad Farhan bin Rosli.
Ahmad, yeah.
Firstly, I want to ask the permission to give this answer in Malay.
Boleh. Patutnya soalannya.
UIA tidak dapat lari daripada konsep IICE dan juga konsep pengantarabahasaan. Jadi saya suka untuk memetik pandangan Profesor Dr. Kamil Hassan dan juga Profesor Dr. Ungku Omar berkenaan the concept of Ummah University. Jadi soalan saya, adakah UIA bersedia untuk melaksanakan ataupun menjadi universiti pertama dalam merealisasikan konsep Ummatik University? Itu saja. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mungkin Prof. Zaleha pun boleh kongsi dengan saya ni. Satu hari, Cik Mat ya, kita ada bercerita, kalau kita banyak sangat mempunyai topik-topik dengan istilah-istilah yang lunak cantik bunyinya, kita juga mesti bijak untuk memilih apa yang terkandung dalam maudhu' itu. Baiklah, ummatik. Sebut ajalah ummah. Universiti ini untuk ummah, memang pun untuk ummah. Kita sudah latih, Prof ya, 75,000 orang manusia. Sekian ramai jadi Perdana Menteri dah. Sekian ramai dah jadi Menteri Luar. Sekian ramai dah jadi bijak pandai di London, di Amerika dan semua. Kalau saya kata, kalau tak IIUM merupakan universiti untuk ummah atau ummatik, apa dia? Saudara-saudara harus waspada. Waspada terhadap ungkapan-ungkapan yang cantik, hebat bunyinya. Tapi bila kita laungkan, orang tak reti. Apa kita nak buat? Islamization. Cantik. Mengislamkan. Kita buat ajalah. Jadi apabila kita mimpi dalam air, hanya buih naik. Orang tak dengar. Tak bagus juga. Bila kita mimpi sama-sama atas bantal yang sama, maka kita dapat menterjemahkan mimpi tadi. Bagi seseorang intelek ya, dan kita mesti hormat kepada Prof. Kamal misalnya, dengan prof-prof kita yang lain, beliau-beliau ini harus mencetuskan idea dalam pemikiran kita. Jadi ini beliau-beliau sudah berjaya. Terserah kepada kita untuk menterjemahkannya. Jadi tadi saya tanya, Saudara Mat pun agaknya setuju ya. Kita terpampang dengan perkataan budi, dengan perkataan ilmu, knowledge. Jadi sekarang ambil kata-kata Prof. Kamal tadi, kita praktiskan. Jadi dalam setiap kata ada subkatanya. Kalau ummatik berarti untuk ummah. Kalau untuk ummah, untuk rakyat Islam. Udah, kita tercapai. Jadi dalam hal yang sedemikian, kerajinan kita, keutuhan kita, kesungguhan kita dan kejituan kita untuk mencapai ilmu tidak berhenti di sini. Saya harap saudara Mat dan rakan-rakan lain nanti akan menjadi pemimpin-pemimpin handalan, sama ada bila balik ke kampung kita ataupun menyambung pelajaran di merata dunia lain. Kita ambil nas-nas meninggikan bangsa kita dan mencari cara untuk berinovatif dalam alat-alat perkakas dan teknologi yang sekarang cukup meluas. Saya rasanya kalau nak menutup soal jawab ni, kita tutup dengan satu kenyataan ataupun reality. Satu perkataan berupa acculturation atau akulturasi, acculturation. Satu perkataannya. Satu lagi osmosis. Acculturation digunakan oleh seorang antropologis, Profesor Mead namanya. Beliau berkata, sesuatu community kalau ditakluki menerusi acculturation, sama ada meluasnya sesuatu kejadian atau dengan peperangan, community itu menggunakan masa yang panjang baru bangkit. Mungkin ini dapat kita fikirkan dalam konteks kita sendiri. Kita tak ditembak dengan M16 lagi. Kita tak ditembak dengan pistol, dengan Sputnik dan lain-lain. Kita ditembak dengan teknologi sekarang. Sampai ke bilik tidur. Cerita yang diceritakan oleh Astro atau TV3 atau RTM, 90% adalah cerita orang, bukan cerita kita. Jadi kalau keadaan sebegitu, soalan saudara Mat tadi berkaitan. Terserah kepada kita mengkentalkan jiwa kita dengan budi kita sendiri, dengan sistem kita. Kemudian kita terjemahkanlah ilmu yang kita terima untuk masa depan. Alhamdulillah, jadi kata orang bila dah berjalan sampai dah ke rumah, sampai di rumah membasuh kaki, berterima kasih saya kepada ummah. Kalau ada masa, marilah jumpa lagi. Alhamdulillah, terima kasih.
Thank you, Tan Sri, in providing answers to help to elucidate the students' concern.